Welcome to Sypno Tech. I'm Alex. How you doing? This is Lida.
Hello.
Welcome to 2017. This is our first episode of 2017.
It is Happy New Year.
Happy New Year indeed. We are here filming an episode about CES 2017. 2017. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's here already. Well,
crazy.
At least we have CES to occupy us. I'm still, as I said in the previous video that we did, I'm still a little hungover from the holiday spirit. Like, I'm kind of like, ugh.
It's true.
Got a whole year to go through work and all that junk.
Kind of begrudgingly went back to work and...
Right. And it's just the start of the year now, and you have to go through 12 more months of that. But at least we have CES to cheer us up, and Mobile World Congress is coming out in Barcelona in, I think, a month or two. So next month. So it's so close. We got a lot of stuff to look forward to, I guess. So at least we have something to wake up to. But we got a lot to talk about. We got CES 2017 in Vegas. So much insane stuff this year. This year's CES really was so much better than last year.
It was.
It was so much better.
It's a little scary, too, how advanced things are getting.
We're getting towards the future. All the movies.
It's happening, guys.
All the movies. The Oscars. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the tech that's evolving into what we saw in the movies back, in the early 2000s. We had some pretty cool movies. We'll talk about that. But first, let's start with some stories.
Yes.
And what better way to talk about future technology and movies than robots?
Indeed so.
Robots.
So LG came out with few different types of robots. These can control your home, but also they built these giant human-size-ish versions, I guess, for airports too. And they're actually being tested right now at South Korea's Incheon Airport.
Those are called airbots.
Airbots.
So they are actually going through, I believe, beta testing or something like that in, like Lida said, the South Korean airport, the Incheon Airport. I've been there many times. It's a really nice.
It's a really nice airport.
It's one of the most futuristic airports I've ever been to.
It's a really nice
airport. So it makes sense. So what these machines are, what the airport one is, it's basically a lot of airlines have self check-in now, where you go in, you can.
There's like a counter or like a booth that you go
machine,
into.
Yes.
You put in your credit card information.
Right, and
you
they
get your
print
boarding
out your boarding pass. You can check in your luggage and pay all your stuff there. Basically, they're doing that, but cuter. It just looks cuter.
They have little eyes,
and it talks to you, and it also verbally talks to you.
Yes, kind of looks like giant-sized Wall-E.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like a giant-sized Wall-E, and they also have a mid-size and a small size, a mini-size Wall-E. Not necessarily Wall-E too. It reminds me a lot of I don't know if you guys remember Jibo from a couple years ago. There was a Kickstarter Indiegogo campaign for Jibo, which is a home automated robot. It looked awfully similar to this, kind of like Eve mixed with a little bit of Wall-E.
Yep.
Yeah, so we have that here, and LG says that these are going to be consumer stuff, and it basically is an Amazon Echo inside. So they did team up with Amazon to, I don't know if it actually runs Alexa, but it runs an AI based on the architecture of Alexa. So that's pretty cool.
It's pretty awesome, and this thing can move around on its own.
Can it move around? I don't think it can move around.
It can move around?
It can dance, so it can, like, when you play music, it can move its
shuffle
body.
A little, yeah.
But I don't believe this one can actually move. Okay. The home automated ones, I don't believe they can move. They're stationary. So, but they do dance, so Lida's technically right. They do move while you play music. But it's pretty cool. I mean, if you ever wanted an Amazon Echo with personality and a face you can look at, this is it. This is it.
They said it's going to be super cute. It'll have cute expressions and a friendly face, and it can play music. Yeah. It can give you directions. You can ask, how long will it take to get to work, and it'll tell you.
Yeah.
So.
And also, pardon the background noise if you hear anything. There's a lot of construction going on at the office building right behind us. So, unfortunately, let's bear with it. But yeah, LG and robots, really cool. I'm actually really excited for this. I've always been interested in this because the last couple of years we've seen a lot like Jibo and some other ones that have been announcing, but we just haven't seen it out yet. Like you can't. None of these are in stores or consumer sold yet. So, I mean, I've been keeping my eye on it, but you kind of lose track of it after a couple years. Like Jibo
It's true.
was announced 2 or 3 years
I've
ago.
never even heard of Jibo.
I showed you Jibo. You said it was really cute.
Okay.
See, she forgot about it. She forgot about Jibo.
Clearly, I forgot about it.
She said
then.
she really wanted a Jibo, and now
I want one of these.
she forgot. Yeah, and then you'll probably forget about this if they don't release it within a year or two. So,
and that's the problem too, right? Like,
yeah, with these home automated robots, it's very difficult because if they don't out of sight, out of mind.
Yes,
Basically, that's what's
exactly.
happening. So, if LG can get this out, they have a upper hand in the market because a lot of them that we saw on Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and stuff like that, they're gone. I haven't seen them since. I haven't heard about them since. So if they can get this into a Best Buy or on Amazon where you can sell it, boom, people will buy it. So really cool. Next story we're going to look at is we're going to go to companies now. We're going to go to Razer because Razer raised a lot of eyebrows with what they were doing this year or showing off this year. And they didn't even show off anything you can technically buy. They are all concept products.
Yep.
So Razer made raised eyebrows this CES with 2 concept products. One of them was called Project Valerie. You want to talk about Project Valerie?
Sure. So Project Valerie, we were even joking about this with the Starbucks story, but it's this crazy laptop. It has 3, I think 17-inch screens or something
4K.
like that.
They're all 4K
they're
screens.
all 4K. And the base of it was based off of the Blade Pro.
Right.
And around it, they built, the idea that, people are buying multiple monitors to play games with, and even for the creative aspects of it, to do creative work. So they thought that they would use or build Project Valerie, and it has 3 screens that kind of just...
Terminator.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. If you saw the, I'll probably throw that on here so you can see that, but it's like they have like really, really intense music on the keynote. Dun, 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 dun.
It's super epic.
Dun, 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 like
we made-
Transformers Terminator style, and the screens pop up from the back, and it's all lit up, and oh my gosh.
We made this joke, how you bring your laptop to Starbucks, and you're sitting across from someone, and you make eye contact with someone, and then you push the button, and all 3 monitors pop out as you're
so
in direct eye
imagine
contact with someone.
Lida is in a table on her own. I don't know her. I'm on my Starbucks. She has a really sexy MacBook out, right? She's typing, and then I take a look at her MacBook, and I'm like, it's pretty nice. And then I pull out my MacBook, my computer, my Razer, and I go like, this is nice, but...
Check this out.
Dun, 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 dun. Mine's bigger.
And then you're playing like some really epic music on Spotify in the background or something, and you increase the volume.
Well, yeah,
the other monitors
I could see this... Okay, all joking aside, I could see this being useful for certain people. Because... Well, first off, for gamers, for portable gaming, this would be amazing. You get triple monitors, 4K triple monitors, right? So you get your immersive gaming there. And you also get the highest end support because there is a GTX 1080 in there, I believe.
That's pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy. Obviously, this isn't a final build or anything, so if it ever does come out, if they ever make a version of this, we don't know what the heck's in there. But hypothetically, a gamer would love this. They would pull it out, and I think gamers would actually pay the hefty price, about $5,000 or so for this.
I think so.
And also video editors, if you are using Windows and Premiere to edit, this is perfect. This would be awesome because I personally use that 21:9 monitor, the LG ultra wide quad HD screen, and I love that, and it really helps editing. But it's not portable. When I go out, I have to use this 12-inch monitor, and it is much more difficult to edit compared to a wider screen. So I totally understand, especially if you're doing bigger timelines. You need that space.
So I think they did a good job in the sense, if this ever comes to fruition into the mass market, in targeting gamers and the creative types.
Right. So they're trying to make something for certain people that might not have needed it or ever thought they wanted it. But it makes sense. That's how you innovate. You try to create, like Steve Jobs said, create things for problems that don't exist. That's basically, you make people realize they need something, even though they didn't know they needed it. That's basically what Razer's trying to do. And they also did something with this other project called Project Ariana, which is a really interesting thing. So Project Ariana is basically VR without a headset. You are immersed into the experience because this is a projector with smart guts inside. We're not going to go into the specs. They didn't actually even talk about it. It was like a trade secret. They couldn't talk about
we just
too
know
much.
It's a 4K projector.
It's a 4K projector that basically expands whatever television screen you are using or computer monitor and expands it throughout the wall. So you basically imagine the television is a cropped screen, and basically the projector expands the screen and adds on to your monitor onto the entire wall. So it's basically you're getting a huge experience, like you're actually immersed into the
fully
game.
immersive.
Right.
Yes.
So for first-person shooters, for first-person adventure games like Skyrim and stuff like that, or Fallout 4, man, that's pretty crazy. Just seeing some of the demos, and we weren't even in the rooms and stuff like that because we weren't at CES. Hopefully we get invited one day, or our press credentials work. But it was so cool to see. I mean, just looking at the videos, you get the whole experience. Obviously, I don't know if it's as sharp as using a VR, like let's say something like the Z5 Premium with the 4K display on a headset. That's really sharp. I don't know how sharp it would be on the wall. We would have to experience that. But in theory, this is pretty cool, right?
Yes. And on top of that, when they did the demo at CES, they also incorporated it with Philips Hue lights and then also some other chroma products as well.
That adds on to the experience.
Yes.
Because it's mood lighting, basically. Philips Hue helps with the mood lighting, and it also helps with the experience of it. Like if I could see how this works. Like if you're playing Call of Duty and there's an explosion, and your Philips Hue is synchronized with the Nvidia projector, boom! You see a huge flash of light from your Philips Hue. That's amazing.
It's crazy.
You're fully immersed in your gaming experience, and you are the heavy gamer, or you used to be a heavy gamer.
Yes.
You game more than I did.
Yes.
But what about Razer's future, like their vision of the future, do you find most exciting as someone who used to be a hardcore gamer?
This part is really cool because I think they said, excuse me, with Project Ariana, they said that they're optimistically hoping for a release date of later 2017 or something like that. So I think the fact that they're consistently trying new things and trying to be innovative enough where they're directly catering to gamers. I mean, I feel like everything that they're showcasing at CES is specifically for gamers. They built it for gamers.
Oh, Razer is made for gamers.
Yeah.
That's their number one priority. Yeah.
I think that this is really neat to be able to have people fully immersed in this experience.
So you're saying that the home aspect, home gaming, desktop gaming is a bigger thing for you than portable gaming, mobile gaming.
For me, I would say yes.
Yeah, because that is basically it's basically two completely different fields that Razer is showing here.
Yep.
Two extremely different fields.
Exactly.
One of them is hardcore entrenched on your couch, staring at a big empty wall. So you are hardcore entrenched on your in your home. Whereas the Razer, the Project Valerie, which is 3 monitors anywhere you want.
It's all about portability. Yeah,
you take it anywhere you want. So they're showcasing two extremely opposite spectrums.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it's just two extremely different ways to look at it. So you personally like the home aspect of the game.
For me, I would say yes, because I'd be interested too in seeing what else they can do. Ideally, you can do it to watch movies too, right? You can use the projector.
They did say something like that, yes.
Exactly.
It is a 4K projector as well. So, okay, that makes sense. We got to move on, though, because we got a lot to talk about. We're going to move on to, let's go with cars really quick before we jump back into, we'll go with cars and then we'll talk about something else later.
Yep.
So,
Faraday
Future.
Faraday Future.
Is it Faraday Future?
Yes.
Are we talking about that now? Okay.
So Faraday released the FF91 at CES. They have some marketing videos that have been out.
No, they didn't release it.
That's true.
They just unveiled it.
Showcasing.
Yeah. They showcased a concept of it.
Yes. Because I guess none of their stuff is fully built yet.
Nothing. Okay, so this is confusing too. At CES, they had 3 models of the car. None of them, which is actually a full built car. On the show floor, they had a really nice aesthetically looking one, but there's no guts, there's no engine, they had nothing in there. And then on the test track, they had a really ugly shell with a
The inside.
really insane engine that they showcased the amazing record speed. What were the record
It
speeds that
was
beat out
0
Tesla?
to 60 miles per hour in 2.39 seconds.
Which is very
Is what
impressive.
they're advertising.
Very impressive, but at the same time, they didn't reveal anything else
No.
regarding that. So they had 3 production models, all which showcase different things, but none of it as a full package, which, as we know, might be harder said than done. It's hard to put everything together in a final package with everything working together without blowing up. So it is a little sketchy, a little skeptical, but at least they showcase something, right?
Yes, yes. And it's really neat. And they definitely have had a lot of interest, a lot of media going on around the company too.
Right, so if you haven't heard of Faraday Future, they are a company that's actually pretty close to us right here.
They're based off of
in
Gardena.
Gardena, I think they're in Gardena, and they were trying to build a factory in Las Vegas, Nevada, but due to financing issues and a lot of executives quitting, there was a lot of criticism and skepticism that this company was kind of like a scam. It wasn't. It's just not. The publicity wasn't good for this company right now, and the fact that La Echo was publicly their biggest backer, the biggest shareholder, I believe, raised a lot of speculation that La Echo was actually pulling the strings and that La Echo was actually the ones who ran the company. And that remains to be seen. A lot of people still think that La Echo is either in the process of buying Faraday or they already technically run Faraday. So if you follow our channel, you know that Lida and I are big fans of well, not big fans, but we are very invested with potentially seeing La Echo in the U.S. market, which they debuted in 2016.
Yes.
We're actually going to review one of the phones on our channel, and we unboxed it, which you will see next week. It is really good for the price.
Oh, yeah.
For what they offer, I am very impressed.
I kept saying that as I unboxed it. I was like, wow, this feels like a really good phone for what we paid for it.
And keep in mind, we pay for all our stuff. We have no sponsors in terms of hardware right now. So we paid our money for these products, and both of us were actually very impressed with the build quality and the specs within that phone. We're talking about the La S3 for $130.
Yeah.
We're getting a little off subject, but I guarantee
Bang for your buck.
Bang for your buck is what La Echo is trying to. They're Xiaomiing the U.S. market before Xiaomi couldn't even Xiaomi the Xiaomi market, the U.S. market. That was also a side note. We're not going to talk about Xiaomi today, but Xiaomi announced a couple cool things. But they announced at CES, which is a U.S. show, for China. So we're not getting any of that, unfortunately. They teased us, but we're not getting any of it. But back to Faraday Future and La Echo. The reason I was talking about the La Echo phones is because they entered the U.S. market, and Lida and I noticed when we were unboxing the phone, everything on the phone was talking about the ecosystem. Ecosystem regarding their streaming service, ecosystem regarding their phones, regarding their smart bikes and their smart cars. And Faraday Future is part of that picture.
Ecosystem.
So if the car can be what the phone is, or that concept, which is great value for an affordable price, I could see it working. But from everything we've seen and heard, I don't think that's the case, because this is going to be priced with the Model S.
Yes.
It's going to be about the same.
Comparable to it.
Right. They said 100 to 200 grand or something like that, right? In the price point. So that is very expensive. So that is totally opposite of what La Echo's model is, which is cheap, high quality, which is what Xiaomi and a lot of Chinese companies do. What do you think of the Faraday Future? Your family is heavily invested in the car industry, since they are big car engineers.
It's just hard, I think, because nothing comes to be until it comes to market. You know, so like you have nothing substantial backing you until it comes to market.
Right.
So it's really cool seeing, all these concept cars and seeing potentially what they can do. And I know that, Faraday is hiring, good engineers and good mechanics and all that stuff. But at the same time, like Tesla has been in this market for so long already. Not even that long, but, considering the whole smart car kind of thing. They've been in this market for so long that we know that we have the Model S, we have the Model X. Like, we know what they can build.
Tesla built a brand recognition.
Exactly.
Kind of like Toyota, kind of like the European brands like BMW.
Exactly.
It's not as prestigious, but it's quickly getting there through word of mouth. Where Faraday Future, it's kind of like Kickstarter Indiegogo brand.
Exactly.
You don't know, it's an unknown commodity with high risks, high reward factor here. So, but when it comes to cars, people want that brand name. Same thing with watches. That's why smartwatches haven't taken off. They want that big brand name if they're paying all that money. So I understand that it's going to be, I think, a little difficult for Faraday Future. But if they're splashy, and if at next year's CES they can get a full model, one package, combine all three of those cars that they brought to the show into
Get it
one.
to market, yep.
Yeah, I could see this being pretty interesting there. But let's actually move on from Faraday Future to another car company. But this is a concept that will never happen, at least not for a long time.
You were really excited with this
I
one.
was really excited. We're talking about Hyundai and what they showed at CES, specifically Minority Report. So we were talking about Hollywood. That's why we brought out our Oscar award, or
Captain America.
Our Captain America Marvel Collector Corps award to give to Hyundai for their craziest concept, which is to connect the car to the home, kind of like how Minority Report and Tom Cruise did it in the early 2000s, where you drive a car and then you have a room in your house that basically opens up the room, a wall opens up, and your car, half the car opens up this way, and it connects. And it basically, your car is an extension of the house.
Yes. So they were saying that, let's say you lose electricity in your house, the car can power up using, was it like hydrogen or something like that?
Right, the hydrogen fuel.
Hydrogen fuel to help power your house as a backup generator.
They basically called it a stationary space with a hole in the wall for your car. That's really cool. I mean, that is a futuristic concept.
Pretty crazy.
And it's basically Hyundai saying this is their vision of the future. And that's a future very far away that we may never see in our lifetimes, unfortunately.
No.
Unfortunately.
But it's really cool, nonetheless.
Yeah, some people on Reddit were commenting they stole this from Minority Report. And they actually posted the video from Minority Report of the exact same thing, which is really cool. I don't care if they stole it. I want to see this happen. Everybody has a condo or apartment with a door open.
A hole in the wall.
A hole in the wall that expands open for your car to park in with the door. Your car door is just open. It's just the coolest thing in the world. It's integrated automobile and home.
Yeah.
So it's the coolest thing in the world. Nothing much to talk about. That's never going to happen.
One day.
That's never going to happen.
One day.
It's never going to happen.
Like way one day.
But Lida,
Yes.
who stole the show at CES? What did it seem like every single day someone was bringing up something about this thing being here at CES?
A little something something by the name of Alexa.
Alexa.
From Amazon.
Amazon didn't even officially showcase anything. They didn't have a booth. They didn't have any keynotes or anything. But
Alexa was everywhere.
a lot of people are claiming Alexa won the 2017 CES show. I mean, oh my gosh,
She's everywhere.
They are everywhere, from refrigerators to
washing machines,
dryers, copycats like Lenovo's Smart Assistant, assistants for children, TVs, cars integrated. Like your dashboard's gonna have Alexa in it and a lot of stuff. Bedside clock speakers, prototype alarm clocks, a dancing robot, which we talked about from LG. Huawei actually put the Alexa app default. So it's going to be a bloatware in the Mate 9, which they also announced. We're not going to talk about that, but they are going to sell the Mate 9 in the US starting right now. You can get it at Best Buy if you want. And Martian put it in their smartwatch, which we knew about prior. It's
everywhere.
Oh my gosh, DVRs. Every device you can think about in the house can have Alexa.
ADT is putting it in their security systems now too.
Alexa clearly is the future. This year especially, you can see the future. You could see a bit of what Amazon envisioned, and it's expanding.
Yep.
Since they opened it up to developers, it's just taken by storm.
I think they even said something like Alexa now has more than 7,000 skills that she can learn.
Yes.
It's pretty crazy.
Lida and I actually recently got into the Echo ecosystem, and we're going to be doing a video later on about our smart home setups. We also have a Google Home, and we will showcase that too. So we're going to showcase what they're capable of, why you should buy them, why you shouldn't buy them. It's pretty cool. So stay tuned for that. But I have to say, Alexa took over CES 2017.
Absolutely.
You were either Team Amazon Echo, or Team Google Home. And since Google Home just came out just a few months ago, actually, more people are on Team Alexa because it's just more connected.
Yep.
It's more connected. But there's one company of note, at least. Actually, there's a few companies, but one made a big headline at CES as part of Team Google Home, and that was Nvidia. So Nvidia released a new version of their Shield TV, which we also have the original Shield TV.
Yes.
This is a 4K Nvidia Shield TV, which will also have Google Home incorporated into that Shield TV. So the Shield TV not only is a streaming system and a gaming system, it is also now a Google Home. So that is pretty cool. They're Team Google. And they also create this little thing called the Nvidia Spot, which will put the Google Assistant in every single plug you have for, they say, an affordable price. I think it was about like $40 or something like that. Yeah. So you can plug in your the Nvidia Spot, and in essence, it's an extension of the Nvidia Shield Google Home. So, for example, you can have your Nvidia Shield in your living room, and you can put a Spot plugged into your bedroom, and you can use your bedroom Nvidia Spot as a Google Home, and you can give it all the commands. Okay, Google, please turn off the lights and this and that.
Which is great for people who are already thinking of getting like a set-top box like the Shield, who want that extra feature for a little bit more to kind of smartify their home a little bit.
Right.
Smarter.
And basically, people are calling the Nvidia Spot the Echo Dot equivalent. And the only difference between this and the Dot is that the Echo Dot can stand alone because it has guts inside.
Yes.
Nvidia Spot needs to link up with a Shield
as its hub.
So it needs to work through the Shield. We don't know if the Spot can connect with the Google Home directly because those are two separate products. Nvidia didn't say anything. They only said it connects with the Nvidia Shield TV version 2. So that's all we know about that. But it's pretty cool. If you are invested in the Google Home system and you want a set-top box, probably the best set-top box you can buy right now, this one is for you guys because the Nvidia Shield, I think it was $300, right?
Something like
$299.
that. Yeah. And also, just a side note, they built a new controller to go with the Shield too.
Yes. So they redesigned the Nvidia Shield controller.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good.
It looks good.
Okay, so pricing hasn't changed. The basic Shield with 16 gigabytes of storage is $200, and the Shield Pro 500 gigabytes is $300. Same as last generation's, just with upgraded specs and the Google Home Hub inside the Nvidia Shield. So that's really cool. So yeah, definitely it ended up being Team Google Home versus Team Echo. And it seems like a mass quantity is on Team Echo, but it only takes a few quality devices on one side to sway to the other.
Exactly.
So it remains to be seen, but right now it does seem like Alexa is gaining a lot of influence.
It does.
So CES, this award goes to Alexa. Alexa has definitely won CES 2017 in our opinion from Sypno Tech. That about covers it for our stories this week. There's a lot of other stuff, but we deemed these probably the most interesting ones that we wanted to talk about.
Yep. Let us know what you guys think too was the major key takeaways from CES this year. There is a lot going on.
This was a huge year. I remember last year we saw it, we were following it, and we were like, not much is going on this year. You know, it's kind of lackluster. This year, oh my god, every single day was just like a new story. And of course, the Chromebooks, Chromebook 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Check out Alex's video on that too. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. So there's a lot of crazy stuff to talk about, and we did talk about the Chromebooks in another video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the Sypno Tech Show. Today's episode was also filmed on January 7th for those of you who are keep track. 2017. And be sure to subscribe, like the video, leave us a comment what you guys like the most of CES, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!